Hi everyone, this is Dr. Pat. Many times we speak about God being faithful to perform His word and that His word never ever returns to Him void. It is true and it is also biblical. We usually say this when we have issues, when we have problems, when things don't seem to be going right, when we feel as if God has forgotten us. So we use these words to encourage ourselves. But how many of us have ever thought about it in light of God being faithful to ensure that curses that He has declared also come to pass? Because remember now, He is faithful to ensure that everything He says happens. Nothing in His word ever returns to Him void. A perfect example of this is that of Abraham, when God had promised Abraham at a time when he had no children and when both he and his wife were pretty old, that he would have descendants as many of the stars in the sky. However, they waited for a couple of years and they didn't see anything happening. God was not performing His word and it looked rather dismal. So they tried to help God, and hence their son Ishmael, which was really the son of Hagar, a servant of Sarah, and that of Abraham, was born. However, that was not the son of promise that God had in store for Abraham. But they couldn't wait on God, so they did their own thing. What this led to was that God, being faithful again, promised Abraham that although this son was not the son he was talking about, that He would ensure that this was also a son of a nation, a great nation. And God was faithful to perform His word. There was a time when Hagar, Ishmael's mother, thought that he was going to die, and God rescued them. In fact, God not only rescued them, but God ensured that Ishmael remained alive to fulfill God's word. Genesis 21 verse 20 said that God was with Ishmael in the wilderness. Isn't that awesome? So we need to ensure that we don't try to help God when He tells us something and it looks as if it's not going to happen, because sometimes when we do things that are out of the will of God, sometimes they're mild enough to be fixed, but at times, there are times when these things remain with us permanently, and there's stuff that God has declared that we wished that it was not so. So let us be very, very careful about trying to help God out. Let us develop that patience and endurance, waiting on Him, knowing that and recognizing that there is nothing that is too hard for Him to do, but everything with Him is timing. We'll talk again soon.